Hello, sweet star. In today's reading, we are getting to hear from Mother Moon about 5 clear blessings unfolding in your world over the next 6 months. This is also the reading for the Gemini Full Moon coming up in December of 2022 at the time of recording this. So the setup of this reading is nothing that I've ever done before. Until this morning, I had a very specific question, and there was a very specific deck. It was this one that drew my attention, and I drew some cards, and they made no sense to me. There's number one, and I asked for clarity. Like, this is hard to understand. I need it to be easier to understand. Can you please make it more obvious to me? And the response was, of course we can, sweet star. We can make it as obvious for you as you need it, you know? That's what we're here for. So in that inspiration, in that response, these 2 decks stepped forward as far as, we'll help you, we'll help clarify. So these up top are the 5 blessings that are unfolding over the next 6 months. This is meant as a timeless reading, so whenever you're watching this, these are the 5 things that are blessing you over the next 6 months, and these 2 decks will provide the clarification of exactly how can we interpret each of these blessings. So we will get as full of a picture as we can. We'll also take additional cards for clarification as we can. My goodness, well, there's that one. That one's looking pretty good. Yeah, so this isn't exactly a pick-a-pile reading, but if you are interested, hello, couple of scrubbers. If you are interested in, those were my dogs, in jumping straight to the reading, that timestamp is in the description box. But you are more than welcome to hang out with me as I continue to set up our reading here. I am honestly, personally, very excited to get to see what is here for us at this time for these next 6 months. The reading that ended up being there, I mentioned, you know, when I drew the first 4 cards, they made no sense, and that's why I was like, you're gonna have to dumb this down for me. I need it to be easier. And that's when the clarification came forward. So thank you, you know, Mother Moon, for always being there to help me along my path, and for giving me the information that I need at this time. And that is where the full picture came into view, and it was so beautiful, the guidance that was there, the reassurance, the affirmation. And so that's my goal, is that we can together, we can receive this message from Mother Moon and together relax into whatever these blessings are. So this last deck over here, I'm not really sure exactly how we're going to use this, but I do know that at some point we are going to pull this into our reading. So we'll just leave it there and wait for it to stand up and be heard. And otherwise, I think we are ready. If you can tolerate, let me set this up so it's at least a little bit more balanced for those of us that need that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we will get into the reading now for the 5 clear blessings that are unfolding for you in the next 6 months. And as a timeless reading, that means whenever in time you happen to be. These will be your next 6 months. So we'll start with blessing number 1 by unfolding the main card and then the clarifiers, and we'll talk about that, and we'll do that for all 5. And then we'll also take a look at the bigger picture of what is coming through. If there's, I have no doubt there will be inner workings going on here. And we'll also pull this deck in as soon as it is ready. So with that, we will start with our first blessing. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. The 9 of coins, or is the 9 of pentacles. Pardon the kitty floof. It's pretty much a natural thing. 9 of pentacles as the first blessing. And that is showing material success of some sort, kind of whatever that means to you. We each possess our own values as far as in the physical, what holds value for each of us. So this could be money. This could also be some kind of physical situation that's really satisfying, and that is where the physical dream come true feeling can come from. But as far as a blessing unfolding in the next 6 months, this is a very encouraging sign as far as reaping rewards for all of the hard work that you've invested along the way, all of the growth, all of the self-reflection, all of the healing that you have put in is paying off right now, and especially over these next 6 months. I feel like that's very clear, but I am so curious to see how we're going to clarify this. Oh my gosh, of course. So our first clarifier is Major Arcana 1, the Magician. And as far as these 2 cards together, the Magician clarifying the 9 of Pentacles, it's like you have really learned, like I would almost say mastered. And over these next 6 months, that's definitely the vibe of what you're moving into, as far as like, you know how to create with your magic in the physical. Badass. Totally. Oh, the person watching this, I'm so excited that you're here hanging out around Moon Mirror Tarot. Thank you so much. But yeah, these 2 together are showing me that it's not just physical hard work that you've invested here. There is an element of really mastering how to flow your life force energy into what you desire, building what you desire in the physical. You have created a loop of what I can only imagine is something where you're focusing more on the process than the results. You're learning how it feels inside of yourself to flow your magic instead of necessarily taking score in the physical. And what I'm seeing is over the next 6 months, not that you do take score in the physical, but you probably could, and you'd be pretty happy with what you're going to be seeing. Let's see what the last one is. Oh my goodness, so interesting. The 4 of Cups. What an interesting card to show up here. We're ready for our clarifier as well on this blessing. Let's add that before we interpret the 4 of Cups. Well, thank you so much. See how obvious it can be when you when you look at it and you're like, I don't know, it's unclear. Can you make it more clear? Yes, we can. Crystal grid, focus and create with intent. And this is also very much in line with the Magician, where it's got all of the different 4 elements of air, earth, water, and fire. And like this beautiful balance that gets created when you use all of them, when you put them all together. And that is really what the Magician represents, in my understanding, is working with all of the different forces present here in the Maya, here in this earth paradise where we've been blessed to land for the moment. So there's an element of mastery here, And I think what I'm getting off of this card is that there can be a tendency when you get really, really good at things to forget how far you've come, or forget to remember where you started, as far as like back when you were a beginner and you had the abilities of a beginner, compared to now, the ease that you enjoy, the comfort that you enjoy, all of the magical manifestations that exist in your mundane reality, meaning like day to day, you have a beautiful reality. And as humans, we get used to things really quickly. Usually our normal can adjust pretty quickly, and your normal has so much good in it that I'm getting a sense of like, don't lose track of that. Like, don't lose track of that radical gratitude for every little piece, every single little piece of what is unfolding in your reality. Love it all. Love it all, and take that love and focus it with intention into what it is that you want to create. You know, when we say material success, what does that mean to you? What does that open up in your reality to have a greater level of material success to play with? Let's tuck this here and let's move on to our second blessing. And like I said, we'll come back and look at the whole picture as we go. Okay, so next we have the Eight of Cups. Thank you guys for understanding about the background noise. It's morning time and there's lots of laps to run, you know, when you're on duty like the dogs are. So the Eight of Cups as a blessing, right? Like, no card is bad, especially when we're in a blessings reading. It's just helping us understand what exactly is happening. But the Eight of Cups tends to show us that something is leaving, not even just leaving, but more that you're letting go of something and leaving it behind. Like, she's got her back to these cups and she's looking elsewhere, outwardly. But this unfolding as a blessing tells me that whatever it is that you're thinking of leaving and that you're closing that chapter, that it's a blessing. In the long term, you're making the right decision. So hopefully that feels like affirmation as far as whatever your instinct is telling you you're ready to be done with, whatever chapter's ready to close. Your intuition can be your guide in that particular life area. Plus, we'll get a little bit more information here. Oh my goodness, yes. You already know exactly what chapter you're ready to close. With the King of Cups here as your clarifier, like, it's inside of you. You know exactly what your emotional truth is. You can feel it in force. And it's telling you that there's an ending approaching, and that there's a divine timing to this ending that is orchestrating not only, oh, this feels really good, thank you, Mother Moon, not only for you, but for everybody else in that situation that ending will affect. It's a blessing for you and for everyone else that'll be impacted by that ending. Oh, that's really beautiful. And the Page of Wands. Oh, yeah, again, like reinforcing that you know how to use your magic. You know how to feel what lights you up and what doesn't light you up. You can feel the difference. You can feel where your magic is naturally flowing and guiding you, and you can feel where your magic just doesn't naturally line up with whatever it is, people or places or tasks or whatever. And that because you can feel it with such clarity, your intuition is communicating with you with such clarity, there will be natural endings as far as closing the chapters on the things that don't align with what it is that your emotional truth is presenting inside of you. They don't align with your authentic intuition and that inspiration that is flowing. This Page of Wands, it is flowing. Look at that zebra. That's an excited zebra. She's got a magic wand with some ribbons and sparkles and her little salamander friend here. She's, yeah, She's excited about what she's excited about. And not everybody else in your world has to be excited about those things. And sometimes people will naturally kind of close their own chapter in our lives as we stand steadily inside of what we know to be true, what our intuition is communicating with us, and what our inspiration is bringing forward day to day to day. We just kind of do that, and the endings take care of themselves. Let's see what the clarifier crystal card, crystal or plant card. Thanks. So easy. I appreciate that. Got it on easy mode these days. I'm a beginner, you know. Okay, Herkimer, Diamond, and Snowdrop. Resurrection, commitment, purification, and devotion. Interesting. The purification part especially, with the Eight of Cups and leaving behind the things that were part of your old chapters, and they're just not going to be part of the new life that you're building going forward. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that any of those chapters were bad or wasted or anything like that. But there is devotion to your emotional truth, to your felt sense of the world, and your inspiration that's coming through your heart, your sense of fun, your sense of excitement in the world. What feels exhilarating to one person doesn't have to feel exhilarating to a single other for it to be right, you know? And I see that you've built up a lot of trust in yourself, and that, again, these endings that they're coming, just figuring out as I go here. The endings are coming as part of these blessings that are unfolding over the next 6 months. But the message to keep in mind as anything ends out of your world is that nothing that really matches your soul, your soul's truth, can ever leave, can ever truly leave you. So anything that ends is a reflection of a piece of you that used to be one way and now has been either healed or integrated in a way where the connection with that attracted piece to the old way, it no longer fits. That's very natural as you grow and change your preferences, your desires, your priorities, your values, all of that continues to grow along with you. And the pieces that stay and the pieces that go will naturally sort themselves out if you just focus kind of inside of yourself and staying devoted to your own personal truth. Kindness and lovingness and all of that outwardly, of course, but also granting that to yourself and being honest about what feels right to you and what feels like suffering or sandpaper on your soul or whatever might be the case. Like, if it feels raw and ragged, maybe it's not meant for you. And the more we sink into our own love and inspiration within ourselves, the less those things will be able to exist in our world. Let's get into the third blessing coming in the next 6 months, the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Pentacles. So this is the card just before our first blessing. So I'm seeing this is a card of hard work and diligent work and perseverance, and all of that might sound grueling, but it's not. In the Eight of Pentacles, it's a natural part of the process in creating something that really matters to you. It's not work for the sake of working. It's working at something that you're able to pour your heart and soul into. So it's not like, oh, I have to figure out how to get motivated. It's mostly this. It's mostly like, just who are you? What do you want inside of yourself, in your deepest part of your heart and soul? What is it that you want? and being honest with yourself about that, and then using your effort and your work and your time, your physical pentacles, your physical resources, pouring your physical resources into creating whatever it is that is coming through your heart and soul. Giving a voice to that, building a platform for that, literally constructing the physical things needed in order to give a platform to your heart and soul, being devoted to that. Let's see our clarifiers for this second. Okay, Six of Swords. So this is pretty clear as well as far as this hard work to bring about your heart and soul's desire and vision. It could feel daunting at times. It could feel long and challenging and grueling, like you don't know if you have what it takes to make it to the other side where you intended to go. But you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Eight of Pentacles, like you keep doing. All I can do is, this one step. I'm just one human. There's only so much I can do. And if my hands are currently working on this one step, then I'm going to consciously put the rest of the steps out of my mind. I'm going to allow myself to focus with total devotion on the step I'm working on right now. And that is my personal favorite trick for this combo of you're doing something you love. That's enough of a motivator right there. That's enough of a flame in your fire right there, is that you love it and you want to see it come to life. So you're going to try. You're going to keep trying as long as it takes to get the thing to come to life, because it was born through your heart and soul and you can't not do it. And even when the going gets tough, the piece that I'm seeing here just now are these birds with these strings, and they're like flying forward. They're like pulling your vessel forward. These birds, these support creatures in the physical and in the non-physical. I'm talking about your dog, I'm talking about your cat, I'm talking about your plants, I'm talking about your angels, your spirit guides, your soul council. There are so many beings pulling on your vessel, helping to make it as easy as it can be, even though it is going to be a long journey. It's gonna take a lot. It's gonna be one of those things where you gotta dig deep and you gotta kind of come more into yourself in order to grow and be able to do what it is that you initially left the shore and set out to do. Let's check out this last one. The Two of Swords, interesting. So this is a very interesting message, especially under the Six of Swords, that I do see that there could be a potential for some of you, maybe not all of you, but there could be this wobble, this feeling stuck, this feeling like off the Two of Swords, like self-doubt, like I don't know if I can do this. I've never done this before, maybe. It's a brand new adventure. I've never even gotten to the other shore before, so I have no idea if I can. Like there's something here that isn't yet seen. Like he's wearing a blindfold. His vision is blocked. Like he doesn't really have a clear, she, doesn't matter, doesn't have a clear image of where it is that you're heading. And so that appearing in this context of this overall blessing, right? Like this is still a blessings reading, so nothing is bad. Even a little bit of self-doubt and confusion and blocked vision is part of divine timing. Like divine timing, like I'm getting a cycle here with these like geese, I think they are, maybe ducks, something, swans, who knows, a bird that is migratory. I'm recording this in December, and there are lots of migrating populations of birds because that's what time of year it is. So I'm getting that this is like a cycle, that there's something cyclical about it's time to work hard, it's time to dig deep for a long journey, and it's time to overcome the next layer of doubting yourself. And again, there's such a blessing in that growth beyond your past limitation of I can't do that. in these next 6 months, you're proving to yourself that you can do a lot more than you previously thought possible. 6 months from now, you will have a completely blindfold off, completely different image of yourself. And already I'm seeing like this King of Pentacles over here that we already flipped out. Like, this self-doubt is overcomeable. That's why it's here. Any self-doubt, any worry, any concern, any, oh my gosh, can I do this? Like, any amount of that wobble is right on time and is to help you grow into a stronger, more stable, more sure-footed version of yourself. And that is that blessing that's coming in these next 6 months. So I'm so happy for you because you already have such stability. You already are so masterful at guiding your energy and using your magic. And this tells me that you're just taking it up a notch. Like, I see a very growth-oriented mindset here, where even though you're already doing so good, you still want to get better, right? Like, we can always get better. Let's check out this fourth blessing. The Star. Of course, that's perfect. Why not? Why not? More wishes come true, more dream come true, more holding in your arms the thing that you've always wanted. The thing that you wished upon a star, you wished for the thing, and she's got it. She's holding it in her arms. Again, I don't know, like, I'm so curious what the clarification is here. Obviously, we do have the King of Pentacles. And so the King of Pentacles and the Star, I'm shown that the reason your dreams are coming true is through the mastery that you've exhibited in terms of knowing how to use your magic, knowing how to use your intuition, knowing how to persevere. And that's really all it takes to create something in the physical. Like, especially that last part. Like, if you don't stop, if you keep going, you will always reach your destination eventually. That's where I'm also hearing, like, time isn't real. Time is not real. The length of the journey, it's not real. Time is an illusion. It's part of being physical. And that is a very clear message of when you keep going, the dream is coming true. And even any self-doubt that might come up along that way is only to help further inform what even is the dream, right? Like, going back to this first question, like, what even is the thing that you want? When your dream comes true and you're holding it in your arms, what is that? And I'm hearing, get specific. Get really specific. Spend hours and days and all your free time sinking into this thing, this dream come true that you're holding in your arms. Feel it, smell it, touch it, lick its face if you want. Like, really get into the experience of what is it that you want in that dream come true. What do you envision? What is coming through your heart? What's coming through your inspiration? And how can you apply your own magic, your two hands, your time, your attention, your effort to create that? And I'm seeing very clearly you get there. The King of Cups, again, with the King of Pentacles. Very cool. Okay, so yeah, you already know. You already have such amazing intuition, and like, overall your cards are saying that you're already doing this. There's like one blip of self-doubt on the radar that comes up every once in a while to help you further believe in yourself and just continue to reiterate within what your intuition is telling you, the truth of that, the ability to trust in what you believe in what you can feel in your heart and soul. I'm hearing, no matter what anybody else says, no matter what anybody else believes, no matter what anybody else chooses to express to you in reflection of whatever your heart and soul wants to offer, their reflection is not your source of information. Your heart and your soul, your intuition, your inner knowing is your source of information. Your ability to stay balanced and grounded within your inner world, your emotional guidance system is giving you all the information you could ever need. And these little hints along the way, these little moments of affirmation and confirmation, are little winks from your expanded self to help you know that you are exactly on the right path right here, right now. Especially taking in this reading, I do hope that it feels as abundant to receive as it does to offer. And Lola, I mean, she is giving you all the love in her heart as well. So Lola's my cat, by the way. Lola also wanted to remind me that I had not done clarifiers on this one or this one. So we will go back and add those in. Let us see. So for this hard work, potentially long, arduous journey, a little bit of self-doubt, but you're going to get through it. You're going to use it to level up. We have, oh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love this for that. The Sanctuary of Light. Let's see if we can get that even clearer. The Sanctuary of Light and Mugwort. Portal. 5D Healing Temple Astral Travel. Wow. Okay, so that's a very, very clear message along with this, as far as, yes, absolutely, any self-doubt that you encounter, any challenges along your journey that you encounter, they are a portal. They are the portal to the other side. Those limitations, those, self-doubting, self-talk, that's a limitation holding you back. And every single one of those is a portal into owning your power a little bit more, into leveling up into the 5D, meaning merging more with your expanded self, your whole self, not just your human self. Like, I'm hearing, like, if you could see you, you would never doubt yourself again. But sometimes we can't see ourselves, right? Like, we have this blindfold on. This, we don't really know our own strength at times. We underestimate ourselves. That's normal. It's part of the human process. And I'm hearing very clearly that this is a confirmation for you, as far as any self-doubt that you have is a remnant of one of these chapters that's closing. Like, that's part of these endings, is that when you doubted yourself before, you would attract and accept treatment that going forward, as you no longer doubt yourself, as you're more confident in who you are and the value you bring to the table, that you'll no longer accept that kind of treatment, you'll no longer accept that kind of behavior. So that's where those endings are coming from, is that there's a resilience that is building through every single piece of self-doubt you ever feel. So again, I go back over here to the Magician, where you're able to take something seemingly negative and create something completely different from it. Good job. I'm so glad you're here. Who are you? Who's watching this? On this one, the clarifier for the Star, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups, our fourth blessing that's unfolding in the next 6 months, we have, again, I'm going to butcher this, Fulgurite and Rosebay Willow Herb. Regeneration, acceleration, change, and shamanic wisdom. Holy moly. Okay, so that is very interesting with all of what we have here already in this blessing that looked so amazing. I'm seeing such a progression here that says, like, again, all of this effort and healing and nurturing that you have invested into yourself is causing a massive regeneration. And that because of that regeneration, very similar to what we just mentioned here, as far as like, when you are regenerated, when you're coming from a place of fueled up and lit up and full of your own divinity, you're full of your own life force energy, when that's where you're coming from, this is what you manifest. You manifest mastery over the physical and the emotional, and your dreams coming true as a result. you holding things physically in your arms that you've always wished for as a result of taking the time to do this regeneration. So I'm sensing that there was a period, like when I think about regeneration, like a butterfly comes into mind. It's not exactly the same, but kind of, where like the caterpillar has its first life, and then the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, the cocoon, and doesn't immediately become a butterfly. First, the caterpillar has to dissolve into goo, and the life being, it's basically goo. It's nothing. It's not a caterpillar, and it's not a butterfly. And I'm sensing that that's kind of where you're coming from, either within your recent past, or you've gone through maybe several of these where you go through these metamorphoses. Sure. But again, that as you do become goo, and then you allow yourself to reform in greater harmony with who you truly are, there's a beautiful regeneration that takes place. And again, because of that, it's only natural that the caterpillar lived on the ground, but the butterfly flies through the air. The caterpillar is confined to a small space, but the butterfly can travel much longer distances. The butterfly has access to a completely different reality than the caterpillar did. And even like acceleration, like the caterpillar covering, 5 feet, it's like crawling like along the ground, and it's really moving. It's going as fast as it can. It's hardly going anywhere though, but it'll get there eventually. It sure will. And that was kind of the chapter before, that was the phase before. And that now as you come out as a butterfly, that like covering 5 feet, I mean, it's expedited. It takes no time at all as a butterfly. And now you're a butterfly. And that's like happening in these next 6 months. I wouldn't be surprised if you can already feel, where I'm sensing specifically in this moment is that where you are listening to this is you are still in the cocoon, but you're mostly a butterfly. And at that point, there's a part of the butterfly being born is, wow, I don't know that I've ever told this story. Part of the butterfly being born is that the cocoon provides resistance, and it is naturally challenging on purpose so that the butterfly can't come out of its cocoon until its wings are strong enough to break open the cocoon. And that because the wings are strong enough to break open the cocoon, it's also balanced and ready to fly. There's strength enough in the wings to fly. And so if you came out of the cocoon even one day early, you would come off the cocoon and you'd fall to the ground and you would be prey at that point for a bird or whatever. Versus if you stay in the cocoon until you're ready, and then you let your own strength naturally open the cocoon from around you and you come out, then you can take flight and live the life that you want to live in this next chapter. Beautiful. Shamanic wisdom, I feel like, is coming in hot with these 2 King of Cups, that there's a lot of data and information moving through your intuition. I would love to know more about like what kinds of things it is that you're coming through with, like what is this inspiration? Maybe we'll get to that once we unpack blessing number 5 for these next 6 months. So number 5 is the Knight of Wands. I absolutely love this as your 5th blessing. The Knight of Wands is on fire with passion and enthusiasm. Like over here, we have the Page of Wands in your 2nd blessing, where you're leaving some old habits behind. But there's this spark of like new inspiration. And then here in the 5th blessing, we have the Knight of Wands, which is fast moving, intense, fiery inspiration that basically has a life of its own. Like that creative life force has a life of its own and it wants to exist. There's absolutely something coming through you, something being birthed through you, some kind of creation that wants to exist in its own right. and that you as the artist or the creator, or however you want to think about that, that you're a co-creator in the creation of whatever it is that's coming through. Let's unpack the clarification on this one. Oh my gosh, the Knight of Cups. People are going to love it. Whatever it is, it has a life force of its own, and people are going to love it. They are going to fall head over heels in love with whatever it is that you're creating and releasing out into the world. I'm seeing many, many suitors as far as people wanting to partner with you, people wanting to join forces with you, people wanting to court you and invest possibly in what you're doing. They want to be a part of it. They really admire and align with your message and your creation, whatever it is that's coming through. Again, I'm so curious. And last but not least, we have the Hierophant. Interesting. So part of what this inspiration is based on is your unique experiences, the lessons that you've learned, the spiritual path that you have walked up until this point. Your life is the raw material of this creation, and your life includes all of the experiences that you've ever lived and all of the people that you've ever met, all of the groups that you've ever been a part of, all of the organizations that you've ever been a part of. There is so much material when you look into your life. You're a fascinating being. There's so many different facets to who you are that are ready to be mined for the inspiration that is wanting to come through, that it's very tied in with the life experience that you've lived on this planet as the being that you came here to be. Thank you. So easy. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, Pearl and Larimer with Let Go, Surrender, Release, Patterns and Triggers, and Pleiades. We also have a rainbow. That feels like a divine timing synchronicity. And yeah, we have two dolphins over here too. Same thing, like a divine timing synchronicity of like in the next 6 months seeing a rainbow and having it be like, I'm seeing you crying out of like gratitude of feeling supported and nurtured by the universe, feeling seen and heard in a moment where kind of questioning, like, if you really are, like, is the universe really out there? Like, am I really the power and presence of God, or is this all just made up in my head? And I see you seeing a rainbow at some point in these next 6 months and having that come in as powerful confirmation to the like tremendously powerful creator that you are absolutely the power and presence of God. You are the pearl in the oyster. And again, I'm hearing like the pearl in the oyster can only be formed because of the grit inside the clam. The sand that comes into the clam, it coalesces and it shines and polishes the pearl into something that is valuable and beautiful and unique and forged over a long journey of having the grit and the polished process. There's a lot that goes into becoming a pearl. And in the next 6 months, like basically I see you fully embracing and realizing the unique and beautiful creation that you as a being are. That like, as far as the value that you bring to this world and like what you add when you come to the table, you bring so much simply just in your presence, just in your energy field. There's so much that you contribute to other people around you without ever even speaking a word. It's truly beautiful, the layers and the depth to what it is that you're creating simply by being alive. Thank you. Thank you for being here on the planet with me at this time. Like, so beautiful. So I am hearing to take 5 more cards from this deck stood up, and I would love to know this shamanic wisdom, this like mastery over your magic and the physical, and these two King of Cups. Like there's a message tied in together with all of that as far as these blessings for the next 6 months. There's like a parting message that wants to come out. So let's, okay, well that, again, thank you for the easy button. All right, well I have, okay, so I have, let's see, yeah, this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, thank you, that was very easy. Alrighty, let's see. So we have the 9 of Wands. She's like roaring, holding on to her wand and ready to fight, ready to roar, ready to charge, ready to use and rely on her own strength. And again, her, his, whoever is listening. Ready to rely on your own strength. That is definitely the key takeaway of that. We have the Knight of Cups. Again, it's, yeah, so 2 Knight of Cups. They're gonna love it. Other people love you. They love you so much. And whether that's already true or that's part of what's gonna unfold over these next 6 months, you are very, very, very loved for whatever it is that you bring into the world. We have the Queen of Wands. Again, very much mastering your energy, your unique magic, the beauty of your unique magic, seeing the unique way that you are wired as a full-on blessing. That like within how you're wired, there are things that come really easily, and there are things that are really challenging or can be really challenging, and that the things that are challenging that might at first be called weaknesses, those are never weaknesses. Those are always divinely timed pieces of your being that allow you to have the journey that you were meant to have. And what I mean by that is the caterpillar doesn't have wings because the caterpillar's adventure is on the ground. The caterpillar's adventure is going slow because you have to move with these teeny tiny little legs on the ground, one physical step at a time. Like that's the caterpillar's adventure. It doesn't want to be in the air, it wants to be on the ground. That's why it came forward as a caterpillar. And then it morphs into a butterfly, and now its adventure is elsewhere. And that there are all of these different stages of who you were and how that naturally evolved into who you have become. And I see you fully falling in love with the beauty of that process of becoming and sharing your story and sharing the strength and power that you've moved yourself into through the incremental step by step. This is really wanting to come out. Oh my gosh, yes. The golden Libyan tektite. See how well you can see that. So it says expansion. I love this. Galactivations. Initiation, ancient Egypt. And the pyramids and the stone and the glowing. Yeah, so expansion, that really coming into your magic and being ready to rely on your own strength is going to be life-changing for you in these next 6 months, that you're moving into a version of your life that you have never lived before. And with the galactivations specifically, I'm hearing that you can't even fathom where you'll be in 6 months. It's beyond your current ability to imagine it, because that's how good it is. That's how far of a quantum leap you're taking over these next 6 months. So cool. Let's see what else is part of our parting message. We have the Knight of Wands again. So clear here. I knew I didn't need to do multiple messages. There's only one message for this Gemini full moon, or the timeless version of what's unfolding for you in the next 6 months. Your inspiration knows what to do. There is a life force coming through you that is undeniable. It's undeniable. It's so easy. It's on easy mode. It's easy to witness. It's easy to feel. It's easy to see what lights you up. It's easy to see where you lose track of time when you're creating, when you have your hands in the clay and you're just going along and you look up and it's been 4 hours. Oh, that is the best feeling ever. And last but not least, the Tower. So yes, life-changing. Living this way, trusting your magic, trusting your intuition, trusting yourself to be strong enough, letting yourself be loved for what it is that you're offering, oh God, I'm hearing this loud and clear, letting yourself be loved for what it is you're offering. That right now, where you are on this side of the 6 months, this is part of the Tower also, where you are on this side of the 6 months is people love you, they already do, but there is sometimes a block in that being able to flow into your system. And that part of what you're using your magic on, and part of this King of Cups double deuce that came in here, is being able to open up your heart to receive more love than you can currently imagine. Like, the way your heart is structured right now, it can only receive this much love, let's say, and it's way more than it used to be. Don't get me wrong, you've come so far for sure, but it is only where it is right now. And over the next 6 months, the way your heart opens and unfolds and allows a tsunami of love to pour in and pour out, the natural ebb and flow, like breathing. We inhale and we exhale so naturally without even thinking about it. And with your heart this open, you'll love and let yourself be loved again so naturally without even thinking about it. And that as you do that, your life will crumble to some extent, because the old life matches the old you. And as you step even more into the divine soul that you are, you will have a different life experience. You'll attract completely different people and behavior and thoughts in your own mind, feelings in your body, inspiration that's running through you. It'll all be so different when you're coming from this place of trusting the beauty of the divine soul that you are. Sweet star, this has been your message from Mother Moon for this upcoming Gemini full moon in December of 2022, or any time that you are taking in this message of 5 clear blessings that are unfolding in these next 6 months. I do wish you all the best. I'm so excited for the you already are. You're already incredible, and your consistent drive to get even better. I'm so seriously proud of you, not that you need that, and just more so excited to share the planet with somebody like you. And even better that you're here on my channel. I would love to get to meet you. Say hi in the comments, and until next time, take really good care of the beautiful, beautiful sweet star that you are, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.